Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Sabbath and peace to all my Hebrew brothers and sisters, mothers and daughters, elders and fathers. It's truly an honor and a blessing to go into Torah as Most High, as the great awakening is upon us, as the revival, as we sit in the time of our revival, and as the Most High is waking up Jacob. We pray that the Most High continue to bless us and move us closer and closer, onto the perfection that He has set aside for all of us to walk in. Because there's a perfection that the Most High requires of all of us, okay? And that perfection can only be accomplished through our ability to be obedient, to be observant, and to have courage, right? To do the will of the Most High. Take courage to do the will of the Most High. When everybody else want to do the opposite, you standing by the Most High. All right. So we understand that, and we pray that the Most High gives us that bravery and that courage to stand in the face of all our adversaries, right, and bring out this word. I know every year during this time, all Hebrew Israelites got to go through battles, right? Because this is the time of the year where Satan is trying to establish his doctrine on the earth, right? And we're standing firm on the ways of the Most High. So it causes conflict. It causes a reason to have rebuttal, but don't think yet your works go unnoticed, right? Because this is the work that the Most High has given us to do, right? We have to establish His word on this earth. Everybody understand that? If we don't do it, who's going to do it? Right? We're not establishing it. The Most High give us the word, and we're not establishing it. Who's going to establish it? Right? Give me Colossians 3, verse 17. Let's start there. As always, giving the Most High's praise.
Colossians 3 and 17. Mm-hmm. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, do all in the name of Mashiach Yahushai, giving thanks to God and the Father by Him.
Right. Always giving thanks to the Most High in the name of the Mashiach Yahushai, because his name is worthy to be praised and He's worthy to be thanked. Give me 2 Timothy 4, verse 1. 2 Timothy 4, verse 1.
This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 4, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
I charge thee therefore before the Most High and before the Lord Mashiach Yahushai, who shall judge and quick and the dead as the appearing and His kingdom. Continue.
Read on.
Preach the word.
Do what?
Preach the word.
Right. So He charges us to preach the word. When He charges us, mean that He's giving us this instruction. He's telling us what to do. He's saying, listen, I give you a charge. Preach the word. Right? When should we preach the word? Read on.
Be instant, in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all the long suffering and doctrine.
Right. So what? In season, out of season. Be instant. At any time. It could be at a time that you may have to bring forth the word of the Most High. It's any time. You could be on the bus. You could be on, basketball game. You know what I mean? It could be at any time. There's no bad time to spread the word of the Most High. Everybody understand that? Because somebody might say, well, not right now. Because they don't want to hear it right now. Right? But it doesn't mean that it's a bad time. Now, of course, you got to use wisdom on what you're talking about, right? Because this word is offensive, right? It can be very offensive to those that are comfortable with doing wickedly. So when you bring out this word, it's an offense. You're telling me I'm doing wrong or something like that, right? So we have to use wisdom when bringing the word forth. But when we bring it forth, we just glorify the Most High. we can't be accused of trying to be what we get accused for, rebel rouser, right? Trying to cause problems, troublemaker, right? We just bring the word of the Most High out instantly, right? Read.
Verse 3. For the time will come
Mm-hmm.
when they will not endure sound doctrine.
Right. So that time has come. All right, it's written in prophetic form here, but we're living in that time period. You said, well, they will not what? Read that again.
Verse 3. For the time will come
Uh huh.
when they will not endure sound
They
doctrine.
will not endure sound doctrine, right? That means that what? They won't stay with what they learned. They're gonna, every time something new comes out, some new philosophy, some new religion, they want to do a little of this. Oh, I used to be Muslim, now I'm Christian, then I'm Catholic, then I'm Baptist, then our people move around with all these different ideas and thoughts in their minds. But there's only one God, right? A lot of these religions got the same Bible because they know there's only one word of the Heavenly Father. But what? There's many ideas, right? There's many ideas, there's many philosophies. Read.
But after their own lusts
Mm-hmm.
shall they heap to themselves teachers,
Right.
having itching ears.
Come on.
And they shall turn away their ears from the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and shall be turned into fables.
Right. So they have itching ears. So now if your ears itch, what you gonna do? Right. Why? Because it make you what? Feel better. So they're gonna go to pastors and preachers and churches and mosques and temples that make them feel better. That's it. That's all they want to do. They want to feel better. Right? But we have to be better. Right? No sense you feeling that you right. How about being right? Right? So the Most High, His word what corrects us. And in order to be corrected, we have to be ready to change. Right? And that's difficult for anyone to do. But if we all go forth and preach the word, right? This word is going to be heard over and over and over again, right? They don't ever hesitate from teaching us to lie. Every year, they teach us, the television teaches us about the tell lie vision. Let me say it correctly, right? The tell lie vision teaches us every year about Christmas as if we ever heard about it before, right? They go through the whole story again, right? Every year. The New Year's, they give it the whole spiel all over again every year. And they don't get tired. They don't get tired of it, right? They got new artists that just came out, singers and R&B singers. They got to make a Christmas album, as if we haven't heard these same songs before, right? Why is that? Why do they keep renewing this thing? Because they know this is what it takes to keep your minds captivated, right? But this truth works in a similar manner. We all have to bring out this truth over and over again. Everybody has their time to speak this word in different ways and fashions, whether it be just conversation or through the music or through a class or through a written word. We got to keep bringing this word out. Everybody understand that? We can't just get satisfied with the word just going out one way, right? You might go street teach, and that's good. But we need everything. We need the street teacher. We need the videos. We need every outlet of media. This word has to go out in every way, shape, or form. That's what's required of us from the Most High. Read on.
Verse 5. But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist.
So, what's the work of evangelist? What does that mean to be an evangelist? That's right. Go everywhere. Right? That's what the work of evangelist does. He doesn't sit in one place. He goes everywhere. Everywhere he goes, this word is with him. Right? So it says, do the work of an evangelist. Read that verse again.
Verse 5. But watch thou in all things,
Uh-huh.
endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, make full proof of thy ministry.
Make what?
Full proof of thy ministry.
Right. So we gotta not just speak it, but we gotta what? Prove it. Right? We gotta prove it. Hold that. Give me 1 Thessalonians 5:21. The burden of proof is on us, man. We come out, we bring this word out. We have to make sure that we can back up what we're saying. We're not just talking. Okay.
In First Thessalonians.
First Thessalonians 5.
This is the book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 1.
21.
21.
Come.
Prove all things.
Do what?
Prove all things.
Prove all things. All things that we speak of, we should be able to prove it. That's why we come here. This is the school. You go to school to what? Learn. So you should be with your pen, your paper, right? Writing these scriptures down. I mean, we record these services so you can go back later on, say you might have missed something, so you can write it down then, get it in your spirit, so you can able to what? Prove these things yourself, right? Because we understand it might have been proven to you, but you have a responsibility to your fellow brother and your sister to prove it to them. Everybody understand that? We have relationships. We have a connection. The Bible, the law, statute, commandments is our cords that was cut. And the only way we're going to come back together is with these law, statute, and commandments. But we got to prove it to our people. They believe otherwise. They think finance can bring us together. They think a lot of different things. Right? Read that again.
First Thessalonians, chapter 5 and verse 21. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good. Abstain from all appearance of evil.
Right, and abstain from all appearance of evil. Right, you're not supposed to show yourself doing anything that's contrary to the will of the Most High. All right, so this is the instruction the Most High has given us. Let's go back now to 2 Timothy's.
It was in 4 and 6. We went through 5. 2 Timothy 4 and 6. For I am now ready to be offered, and the time of my departure is at hand. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith.
I've done what?
I have kept the faith.
Right. So he's speaking of, his time to pass on, and he's reflecting upon his life, right? So as he reflects upon his life, what he said, I kept the faith. I didn't give up. Now it's time for me to depart. Now it's time for me to go back to my maker, right? He could take stock of his works here on the earth. Read on.
Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which is the Most High, thy righteous judge.
Right. So he says, because he did these things, what's waiting on him?
Righteous crown.
A crown of righteousness is waiting for him. He understood that. Do we understand that the things we do in this life, right, prepares us for the life to come? Okay. If you're in preparation for your blessing. Everybody understand this? That these works you're doing now, when you standing up for righteousness and you speaking this word, you might look for that quick return. You may not see it in this life. But Timothy understood this. All right, read that last verse again.
Verse 8. Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness.
There's laid up for me a crown of righteousness. Because he what? He brought out that word. He established the Most High's will upon this earth. We all working for that crown. All right. None of us have obtained it, but we all working for it. All right, read on.
Which the Lord, the righteous judge, shall give me.
Right. The righteous, the Most High is going to give you a crown for your works. All right. There's a reward for this work. It's not that we just gonna keep laboring, and there's no reward. I hope you understand that. Everybody understand that? Read on.
The righteous judge shall give me at that day, and not me only,
me. Right, go ahead.
But unto all them that also love his appearing.
That all them that love his appearing, all of you, right? there is a blessing for this walk. Yes, you might get the different blessings you get in this life, but there's blessings that go beyond this life that you're setting up. All right. Um, yeah. What shall we get? Which one? When the disciples said, "What shall we get?" We have forsake all and followed you. All right, hold that one. Let me get there's one that says we forsake all. Yeah, let me get that. Matthew 19:27. Get Matthew 19:27. Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 27.
Mm-hmm.
Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee.
Right. So Peter's saying, listen, we left all we were doing and followed you, Christ. Read on.
What shall we have therefore?
What are we going to get for this work that we have done? Read on.
And Yahushua said unto them,
Right.
Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the generation when the Son of Man shall sit upon the throne of his glory, ye shall also sit upon 12 thrones,
Right.
judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
So who sits on thrones? Kings, right? Rulers. So we just read in one verse that Timothy told me, I'm going to get a crown, right? Then we over here with the disciples, they say, wait, they're going to sit on thrones. So what? What does a king do? other than other than that, what else do they do? They rule. They have rulership, right? When they speak, right, it affects many lives. They have rulership, right? They have ownership, okay, right? They have wealth because of their position of rulership and ownership. So the Most High is letting us know that, listen, there's a great reward waiting on those that have done this work. It's not just we going and we do get the blessings in this lifetime, but it's more set aside for you. And when you that resonates in your spirit, no matter what you go through for this word's sake, you know that the Most High is working a far greater reward. It's being set before you. So we must go through these things. The scriptures say if there's a city that's given to you in a dangerous place, right? We might go there. I'm not going to quote it. I want to get that scripture you were talking about. Second Ezra, guess 2 and 43. Guess Second Ezra 2 and 43. Then we might get was that First Ezra 7? Oh, okay. Get your crown. Okay. Yeah, I got that.
This is the second book of Esdras, chapter 2 and verse 43. And in the midst of them, there was a young man of a high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads, he set crowns and was more exalted, which I marvel at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing.
Right. These are them that put off the mortal clothing, meaning what they've been changed. Their bodies have been changed. Okay. What does mortal mean? Nope. What does mortal mean? It can die. That's why we're mortals. We're mortals because we can die. If you were immortal, that means you what? You don't die. Right? So mortal means it died. It means to die or to be killed. Right? Read.
He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms.
And now are they crowned and receive palms. Right? So what? There's a crowning that's going to be happening in our salvation. And we're working on that in our foreheads to receive that crown. Read on.
Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them? and giveth them palms in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
So he answered and said unto me, it is the Son of the Most High.
It is who?
The Son of the Most High.
So it's Mashiach Yahushua that's going to give out these crowns. Everybody understand that?
Yeah.
That's Christ that's going to give out these crowns. All right, read on.
Whom they had confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord.
Right. So what? You confessed Christ in the world. That's why they got these crowns. That's the work that they did. They confessed the Most High in this world. And he said, okay, these men, they stood up for the Most High. So there is a blessing waiting on you for standing up for the Most High. You may not see it now, but you might go through some turmoil, some tribulation for standing up for the Most High, but there's a blessing waiting for it. And we have to understand that. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Read on.
Verse 48. Then the angel said unto me, go thy way and tell thy people what manner of things and how great wonders of the Most High thy power thou hast seen.
Right. That's it on that. All right. So as we can see, it's established in Scripture that it's not just now, but the Most High is going to bless us for the things that we're going to go through for His name's sake. So we have to be prepared to suffer any kind of, pushback or any kind of persecution for His name's sake, because the blessing is something we have to earn, man. All right, this is what we have to earn. You're just gonna waltz into the kingdom of heaven and get blessed, and you didn't do no work. All right, we went over it last night. It's about the works, man. All right, so be prepared to put your work in. All right, be steady in your mind. Check yourself. Examine yourself. Am I putting any works in? If you're not, put some work in. Right, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. That's what the scriptures tell us. Right. Right. And we started this out. It said, preach the word. Teaching is that work. Teach somebody about the Most High. Tell somebody about the Heavenly Father. All right. Don't think it's insignificant. It might be a young person. It might just be the person sitting next to you. Never think that that work is insignificant. Even if the person is not hearing it, that doesn't matter. Right. I'm going to show you why that doesn't matter. Give me Isaiah. It's 49:5.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49 and verse 5. And now saith the Most High that formed me from the womb to be his servant, to bring Jacob again to him.
Mm-hmm.
Though Israel be not gathered.
Though what?
Though Israel be not gathered.
Even if they ain't listening. Because we are servant to bring Jacob again to the Heavenly Father. That's just what a servant of the Most High does. He brings the children of Israel back to their father. Bring Jacob back to the Most High. Well, let's say they're not even listening to you. Read on.
Though Israel be not gathered.
Though they be not gathered, they're not hearkening. Read on.
Yet shall I be glorious.
Yet shall I be what?
Glorious.
You're going to still be glorious. Read on.
In the eyes of the Most High.
In the eyes of the Heavenly Father. Because you did the work. All right? That's what's required of us. So we can't always look at, I'm teaching them, but they're not hearing me. Listen, you going and using the scriptures? You proving all things? Are you established according to the word? They don't want to hear it. The blood is not in your hands. Especially, our brothers that go forth and teach this word. We have to spread this word. We don't have a choice, right? I'm gonna prove all things. Give me Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter. You know what I want. Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3 and verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
A what?
A watchman unto the house of Israel.
Come on.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
And do what?
Give them warning from me.
So we warn the people. We say, listen, you better stop that Christmas nonsense. You better not put that tree in your house. Take them lights off your house. Right? Right? Put that black and gold outfit back. You ain't going nowhere for January 1st. All right? You don't need no new pair of shoes for January 1st. Right? Because we got to let them know that, listen, we got to warn them. But that what we're doing is incorrect. It's unrighteous. They would say, leave me alone, man. You always bother me with that Bible. All right, read on. We have
Verse
to warn
18.
them. Let's see why. Read.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die.
Thou shalt what?
Surely die.
When we say the wicked, you're gonna die. If you repent, come out of that wickedness. We tell our young men, listen, girt yourself like a man. Our young women, be women. All right, be ladylike. Come back to being feminine. Right? We got in this society our men being feminine and our women being masculine. Everything is upside down. Right? We trying to set the order back the way it's supposed to be. We the bad guys, right? Because we're speaking against the things that we see. But what does the Bible tell us to do? Right? It says to warn them. It's a warning. Right? We're not telling them to do something that we're not doing. Right? Right? Yeramir. Right? That's right. We'll take a look at that in a little while. It's down. It's here. Right? Read on.
And thou givest him not warning.
If you don't give him warning, though, this is the most important thing to understand. If you say, you know what, they ain't going to hear me anyway, so I ain't going to say nothing. You get discouraged, right? We all been there. You get discouraged. You're like, man, I would say something, but I ain't even going to say that, man. They ain't listen. Read.
Nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way.
And you don't tell the wicked from their wicked ways, right?
To save his life.
To do what?
Save his life.
So this wicked is talking about, it's a wicked of who? Is this Esau? Is it Moab? Ammon? Elam? Who's this wicked talking about? It's talking about Israel. Because you don't have to warn Esau about his wicked ways. His wicked ways is his ways. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Right? The wicked one that needs to be warned is our own people. So that they could change and come back to the ways of the Most High. The ways that was given to them from their father they was born to do. Does everybody understand that? All right. It's no sense. You got to look at it logically, right? You know, the scriptures say, who would pity the charmer? What's that scripture? Who would pity the charmer? So give me that. You sharp on it like that? Sirach what? That's a big place. I need to go somewhere. All right. Who would pity the charmer? Give me that verse, man. Most I put it eloquently here. Thank you, Al. There it is. Give me Sirach 12:13. We don't come back where we at. I just want to jump over there for a minute. Sirach 12, verse 13. Because a lot of our people want to waste time trying to tell the wicked that they're wicked. Right? Right? Why am I telling the wicked that he's wicked? Doesn't he know he's wicked? Now, if he's thinking in his mind he's righteous, I'll have to bust his bubble. But other than that, I'm not going to go forth to go look to tell him how wicked he is when he knows he's wicked. All right, read that.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 13. Who will pity the charmer?
Who what? Who will?
Who will pity a charmer?
Now check this out. Who will pity? What's a charmer? What is a charmer? This is somebody that's talking about the people that play the flute and the cobra be dancing in front of them, right? That's the charmer, right? Elam, they like to do that over there, right? They play the flute and the snake come out the basket and they get the cobra to sit there and dance, right? Read on.
Verse 13. Who will pity a charmer
right?
that is bitten with a serpent?
That is bitten by the serpent. Would you pity him? Why? You should have been playing this in front of the snake with that stupid flute, right? What are you doing? You setting yourself up to get what?
Bit.
To get bit, to get hurt. Why are you over there, right? Read on.
Or any such as come nigh
Uh,
wild beast.
Any such that come nigh wild beasts. They want to play in the zoos. They want to put their head in the alligator's mouth. When the alligator chomp down on you, I'm not gonna feel bad for you, right? Because that's what they do, right? Read on.
So one that goeth to a sinner.
One that do what?
That goeth to a sinner.
But one that goeth to a sinner. Read on.
And is defiled with him in his sins.
Right, and defiled with him. So you want to go hang out with the sinners. You want to go in amongst them, and next thing you know, you doing what they doing. Right? You locked up because you out hanging with Ray and them, and you know how they get down. Right? But you want to hang with them because it's, maybe you bored or something. I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking. Right? Maybe you say that's my cousin, right? And that's my fam. So I'm gonna go run with them. And you know where they running to, right? But you're gonna go with them anyway. Why? Who's gonna feel bad for you? Right? So now why am I going up in what areas we got down here? Not Pompano, not Tatertown. Where that school, Douglas High School, is at? No. Why am I running up in Parkland trying to rebuke them people up in there? Right? And they looking at me like, what? Call the police, man. Who is this guy? Then I get locked up and I'm mad because I got freedom of speech. Not over there, right? And you should know that. Use wisdom. Use wisdom. Right? Scriptures, we on to our people, man, that's just sighing and crying about the abominations done in the city. We go on to our people, man. Right? We're not setting the school up in give me another area. Weston, right? Bonaventure. We're gonna put the school on Bonaventure Boulevard. We're gonna open up the school, Hebrew Israelites, Bonaventure, Weston. How long that's gonna last? I'll give it about a week. You think I'll last time for a week? What you doing over there? What are you doing over there? So we got to use wisdom. Okay? Don't go to your job and rebuke your boss and tell the owner of the company how wicked he is. You're not using wisdom, right? Then you out of a job, you want to talk about, he said instant, in season, out of season. Don't misuse the scriptures. All right. That's how we gotta go. That's why we gotta balance scriptures. Because you can read one scripture and take it and speed off. And you gotta wait. That's why scriptures say the word was unto us as what? Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. That's why we read the scripture this way. Because you might get one instruction, go flying with that instruction. Don't forget all the other instruction that was there. So yes, we have to be instant. Yes, we must warn our people, but we got to be what? We got to use wisdom, right? Don't be like the snake charmer, right? Don't be in a place where this is no fruit of this to do this word here. This is not what it's talking about. It's talking about where our people are in need. Don't hold back, right? Where the need is, don't say I won't bother, because the need is there. Everybody understand that? All right. So we have to balance this wisdom, right? So go back to where you was at. I just had to go to the snake charmer. That's one of my favorite scriptures right there. It makes no sense to sit there and play that flute in front of that cobra, right? You run from a snake. It says you flee from the face of a snake. You know what the Bible said? Why are you sitting there? No, boy, there's simple things you see in this world, right? This is crazy, right? So go back where you was at now. Come, we in Ezekiel 3.
Ezekiel 3 and 18.
Uh-huh.
When I say unto the wicked,
come on,
thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life.
Come on.
The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
Yeah, he gonna die because he never got instructed to do better. That same, drug dealer slinging that rock on the block, he's gonna die doing that. Okay. Right? As that young man that like to jump through windows, talking about he's gonna hit a lick, right? Want to go rob and steal, he's gonna die in that. Whether it be in the streets Whether maybe he went through the wrong window, right? Right? And Dirty Harriet is in there with a brand new special, right? Smith and Wesson, and going through the window, or you go to jail and end up in more different problems, right? But if you don't warn the wicked, he's going to die in his wickedness. Read on.
But his blood,
read,
will I require at thine hand.
He's going to require the blood at your hand because you should have told him. He was around you before he went to do that wickedness. Did you rebuke him? When he said, I was going to go, I'm about to go hit a lake, man. He said, all right, man, go be careful, be safe out there. You can't bend the man God's speed. He about to go rob somebody. You got to tell him, listen, man, thus saith the Most High, man, thou shalt not steal. He not going to want, man, you with that Bible again? Yeah, because it's necessary. Because you might have prevented him that day from going. You might have prevented his spirit. But if you hold back that bread, you hold back that knowledge, that wisdom, understanding, his blood is now on your hands too. For the Most High brought him by you for you to warn him, for you to tell him. All right? How many times you see these murders on the news and what they call crimes of passion, right? You know, one sneaking in the woman's house, the good man is not at home, right? Next you know, he double back around the block and somebody's dead, right? Because here comes the spirit. They said what? Jealousy is the what? Is the rage of a man, right? So that becomes rage. Jealousy become rage and somebody become dead, right? And it happens over and over and over again amongst our people, right? How many arguments you see is sparked off of pride, right? So we have to be that voice of reason to our people. When we go forth to teach them, we teach them that they're Israelites, but we're also teaching them the wisdom of the Most High. Everybody understand that? Because the fact that you're an Israelite, okay, you know you're an Israelite, but if you don't got no wisdom, what good is that for you? Right? You might as well be a Jebusite or a Hittite. Because if you're not the ways of the Most High, what good is it for you being an Israelite? You might as well be Edomite. Right? Like when those Oreo cookies, right? You know, black on the outside, but that cream filling, right? Because everything inside you is of them. So we have to feed our people wisdom. When you talk to people, as quick as you're quick to tell them they're Israelite, tell them about these laws, statutes, commandments. Tell them wisdom. Share the word of the Most High. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Teach the word of Yahweh. All right? Teach them that they should not eat pork, ham, shrimp, and lobster. Right? Don't think that that's light. They may not know they're Israelite, but at least they're going to know, according to the Bible, they cannot eat pork, ham, shrimp, or lobster. Right? According to the Bible, they can't be adulterer. Right? They cannot be, they can't deal with idols. They can't, be superstitious according to the Bible. They can't celebrate Christmas according to the Bible. That January 21st is not the new year according to the Bible. Okay? These is information that our people need. Right? Then they'll start to understand what it means to be an Israelite before they even know that they're an Israelite. Everybody understand that? Read on.
Verse 19.
Uh-huh.
Yet, if thou warn the wicked,
right,
and he turn not from his wickedness,
come on,
from his wicked way,
read on.
He shall die in his iniquity.
He's still going to die. Read on.
But thou hast delivered thy soul.
Thou hast delivered thy soul. I told you. Right? It's not on me anymore. I'm clean. I told you. So that's a requirement of all of us. Right? Our sisters are supposed to teach other sisters and our children. Our brothers are supposed to go teach the masses. Right? That's the work required of all of us. Right? You know what I mean? That's right. That's right. Give me I like that. Give me Leviticus 19 and verse 17. Leviticus 19, verse 17. I was thinking that.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17.
Come on.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
Thou shalt what?
Not hate thy brother in thy heart.
So if you don't hate your brother, what you doing with your brother? If you're not hating him, what you doing? You loving him. Read on.
Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
So to rebuke him is to what?
Correct.
is to love him, right? Rebuke is yes means to correct him, but to correct him means to love him. All right. So you cannot hold back your rebuke, hold back your correction, and say, "Well, I love the brother, so I don't want to tell him nothing." That's not love. Read on.
And not suffer sin upon him.
And not what?
Suffer sin upon him.
Do not let him continue in his sinful behavior without any conscience. All right? Without any rebuttal, without any rebuke. All right? A lot of our young brothers and sisters out there on the streets, man, nobody told them not to do what they're doing. Believe it or not. They told them, be safe. What does that mean? Right? I'm going to go, I'm going to the club, Ma. I got my outfit in a bag. All right, honey, be safe. How you be safe in the club? Right? About to go make it rain. All right, watch out. Take an Uber. Right? Why are you rebuking them to even go in there? And say, no, you don't have to go there and do that. All right? Young man in this society, as soon as they turn 21, where they want to go? I'm going to the strip club. Pull my ID out. All right, I can go now. Right? They go there. Whatever happened there? Somebody get killed. Somebody get shot. A lot of violence happens around it. You understand that sin brings forth sin. All right? A lot of violence happens. The wages of sin is what? Yeah. So that's why all these clubs and stuff, you always got a shooting. There's got a shooting. Somebody getting killed. Somebody getting shot. Why is that? All right? I thought they went there to enjoy themselves. All right? Where sin is, it multiplies itself. So we got to rebuke the whole situation. You can't just rebuke and that killed them. Where were they at? What was happening? What were they doing? A lot of times you see a lot of these murders, you go a little deeper, you read the story, because they threw one thing out in the headline, but when you read the story, you see why these things happen. All right? You see where the sin began. Right? The climax of the sin might be what? It's the killing or the shooting, but that's not where the sin began. It began all the way back. Right? When this guy was hustling, right? Maybe he was a street hustler. Maybe he's selling merchandise he ought not to be selling, or something's going on. And this is the end result. Right? Read on.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
Right? Come on.
But thou shalt love thy neighbor.
Thou shalt what?
Love thy neighbor.
Come on.
As thyself.
Come on.
I am the Most High.
I am the Most High. So the Most High said we have been commanded to love one another. But that love takes work. It's not just saying love. Right? The work of the love is what? We got to rebuke, correct. Right? We got to bring forth, the will of Yah. Right? There's many attributes to love, but you got to have those attributes in play to really say you loving your people. All right. If you're not doing any of that, then how are you loving them? Right? In your mind, in your heart. Right? Your heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. So your heart will make you believe a lot of things that's not true. Let's get the book of Luke. Luke chapter 10 and verse 2. Luke chapter 10, verse 2.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 10 and verse 2. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great.
Right.
But the laborers are few.
Right. The harvest is truly great, but the laborers are few. I mean, there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of fruit out there that needs to be picked and plucked. Our people just waiting to be picked and plucked out of this kingdom. But what? There's going out there to do it. All right. Read on.
Pray ye, therefore, the Lord of the harvest,
right,
that he would send forth laborers into his harvest.
Right. We pray that the Most High send forth laborers into his harvest. Right. That the Most High sends forth what? Multiple teachers. Right. I never understand how some people want to be the only teacher. Right. Or the only school. Right. I say the Most High, I wish there was a school in every neighborhood. Because you only can do but so much. Right. The harvest is plenteous. There should be reapers everywhere reaping our people. Some people get offended. Oh, they teaching over there. What are they? come to my school, don't go to this. You might get approached when you tell people, oh, I'm with Light of Zion. Oh man, them brothers over there, right? Rebelites, right? Right? I've heard all kind of things, right? But you wonder, do you really want to be the only school? How much people could fit in there? Right? What is the capacity of your building, right? Because if your capacity of your building, I haven't seen, any school with over 1,000 people capacity, right? Maybe we'll have like the Faith Center. The Faith Center. Wait, maybe a minute. Joe Austin probably got 12,000 stadiums, right? And that's still, even with that stadium, does not house the majority of people that's even in the neighborhood of that stadium. So that's showing you what? It can't be contained by one place. This word has to go out. Scripture say wisdom uttereth his voice in the streets, right? In the place of concourse. That's why we go to the streets and teach this word. We don't just keep it inside, because there's no place that can contain the wisdom of the Most High. Everybody understand this? Read on. Go your way. Verse 3. We're at
Verse,
Luke 10 and 3.
Verse 3. Go your ways. Behold, I send you forth as lambs amongst wolves.
Right. We're lambs going out amongst wolves. Okay. That's not a good way. Could a lamb stand up to a wolf? No, he's lunch, right? But even though we are lambs amongst wolves, we have our power. We have our good shepherd that will keep the wolves from off us. That's what the shepherd does, right? When the shepherd got the sheep, is he gonna let the wolves come and take his sheep? No, he has his ways and his ways of fending off his sheep. So when we go out there, we might be lambs. We don't cause anybody any harm, to cause anybody any hurt. We got there lambs, man. We come out here with the word of the Most High, right? Even though we might come forth with the authority, some people might see the aggressiveness and say oh man, they, thinking that they're at arms with us, like we're ready to fight or something. But we are here our battle is not carnal. The weapons of our warfare are spiritual. What we fighting against is spirits, right? Principalities, right? That's what we fighting against. Not flesh and blood. We don't care less, who got their martial arts in order, right? We're here fighting spiritual battles. Everybody understand that? Read on.
Carry neither purse nor scrip.
Right? He said you don't even gotta have no money, right? You don't need to have a plan laid out on how you're going to deal with the people. Read on.
Nor shoes.
Right?
And salute no man by the way.
Uh-huh.
And into whatsoever house ye enter, first say, peace be to this house.
Right.
And if the son of peace be there, your peace shall rest upon it. If not, it shall turn to you again.
Right. I mean, what? If we go to say peace and say shalom, they say, get out of here. You might say, oh, well, there may not be no peace here. We came with shalom and they told us to beat it. Right? Read on.
Verse 7. And in the same house remain, eating and drinking such things as they give. For the laborers is worthy of his hire.
Wait a second.
I'm on verse 7.
Read verse 7 again.
Verse 7. And in the same house remain, eating and drinking such thing as they give. For the laborers is worthy of his hire.
Right. So if you go to a house and they do receive this word, they do receive you, then, sup with them. Eat, drink, teach, right? Abide in the spirit. Read on.
Go not from house to house.
Do what?
Go not from house to house.
All right. So I don't know if the Jehovah's Witness read that verse. You think they read that verse in the Kingdom Hall? I don't think they read that verse in the Kingdom Hall. No, I think they skip over that one. I don't think they Bible don't have that verse in there. All right. Read on.
Verse 8. And into whatsoever city ye enter, and they receive you,
come on,
eat such things as are set before you.
Read.
And heal the sick.
Do what?
Heal the sick.
Come on.
That are therein.
Right. Heal the sick that are therein. So we go out there to heal our people. Right. This word is a healing word. This word, when this word comes into your life, it changes things and it will heal the breaches and the issues and the situations that you're going through in your life. You put on the dietary law, guess what? Your body, you'll be that much healthier. All right. So this word is a healing word. This word fixes things, right? It doesn't destroy, right? It might destroy the enemy, but if it's amongst those that is blessed, it will fix any matter. Read.
And say unto them,
Right.
the kingdom of the Most High is come nigh unto you.
Right. Come on.
But into whatsoever city ye enter,
right,
and they receive you not.
right,
Go your ways out into the streets of the same, and say, even the very dust of your city, which cleaveth unto us, we do wipe off against you.
right,
Notwithstanding, be ye sure of this, that the kingdom of God is come nigh unto you.
right. Let them know that. Listen, we try to teach you, right? But we wipe the dust off. We don't care. You don't want to hear this word? Hey, it's on you. All right. We're not going to take that responsibility. We try to teach. We try to bring forth the word. You don't want to hear it? Hey, wipe the dust. Read on.
But I say unto you that it shall be more tolerable,
right,
in the day of Sodom than for that city.
Right. For that city, they don't want to hear the word of the Most High. The day of Sodom was a better day than the day for that city. Right. What happened to Sodom? Right. Fire. Right. Like Benjamin say, fire. Right. It ain't just fire. It's fire. Right. So fire burn. Right. So we understand it'd be better for the day of Sodom than that city that does not receive this word. So that's why we have to be instant. Give this word. The instruction that we are getting today is to go teach this word. Preach this word in season, out of season, anytime. But use wisdom, right? Don't be like the charmer, right? But be responsible for your brothers and sisters out there, because it might be the day that you warn them from their wicked ways that you might save them. And if they're not saved and they continue in their wicked ways, at least what? Your hands is clean. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, so now we're going to get into the portion. All right. I know there's some other verses, but I can keep going and going and going, and we got to get into the portion. All right, so we're going to go to Genesis 41. We're in Genesis 41. The portion today is Genesis 41 and 1 to 44 and 17. That's Genesis 44 and 1 to 40. I'm sorry, 41 and 1 to 44:17. That is the portion for today. All right. Let's get it.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 41, verse 1. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river.
Uh-huh.
And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kin and fat fleshed, and they fed in a meadow.
Right. Well-favored kind. Right.
Kind.
Right.
Verse 3. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kind upon the brink of the river.
Mm-hmm.
And the ill-favored and lean-fleshed kin did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kind. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time.
Right. So he had a dream. Pharaoh rolled up. So now we're in Egypt now. Where's Joseph at this point? Who remembers? Where's Joseph? Malachi. Nope. He's in prison. He locked up. He locked up. Joseph is locked up in the Egyptian prison. Right. He already had interpreted two dreams of two men. What's the two men dreams that he interpreted? Cupbearer, the butler, and the baker. The baker and the butler. I guess the butler is a cupbearer, but If you could look at it that way, that's his function. One of his functions. But the butler and the baker. The butler was blessed, and the baker was killed. Right. So he interpreted these dreams while he was yet in prison. Why was he in prison? Who remembers why Joseph was in prison? All right. All right, class. We're going to raise our hands and then I'm going to point at you. When I point at you, you speak. Okay? All right. Hallelujah. Why was Joseph in prison? All right. Uh, whose wife tried to set him up? Right. Right. So the government wife tried to set him up. Set him up saying what? What did she say he did? That he tried to what? Right. Try to rape her or commit adultery or both at the same time, really, right? Right? He said typical, right? Why did she do that? Why did she do that? All right, I'm gonna try my class again. I'm about to get my ruler out. All right, and I'm for the ruler is not for children. All right, so now raise your hand so I can call on you, little sister. She desired to be with him, right? She wanted Joseph, right, to be her playmate or whatever the case, but she was already married, right? Her boo toy, right? And he wasn't trying to be that, right? Joseph was like, "No, I'm not going off like that. That's wickedness, right? Right? I'm in your husband's house, and you trying to pull me in the room. You going off, right? So, sister, right? Absolutely. Everything was committed to his hand. He was running the whole house. Now the wife want to get with him, right? So no, I'm not messing with you, right? So because she was in her feelings, she was hurt, she was jealous, she was rejected. She made up a story saying that the man raped her, right? Or he tried to rape her, right? When he never did any such thing. In fact, he tore his garment trying to get away from her, right? So this is where we at. So he was framed, he's locked up, but the Most High is still with him, blessed him even in jail, right? He ended up getting what? Charge over the jail. All the inmates had to answer to him, right? Right. The jail keeper saw favor in Joseph, right? But Joseph probably told him his story, and he probably know how she get down, so he believed him, right? So that's messed up. You locked up here, you didn't even do nothing, right? So now, as this is going on, the butler was returned back to his position as being a butler. He was taken out of jail, but the baker was killed. But the butler forgot to put a good word or didn't put a good word in for Joseph. So Joseph remained in prison. All right. So now Pharaoh is having dreams. How many favorite kind did he see in a dream? How many ill favored kind did he see? What does seven represent in scripture? Completion, right? So it represents a completed um, time period. So when you see sevens in the scripture, it's talking about completion. Doesn't necessarily mean seven sometimes. It means completed, right? Read on.
Verse 5. And he slept and dreamed the second time.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk,
Mm-hmm.
rank and good.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them.
Mm-hmm.
And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And the Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled. And he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh.
Right. So he called for all his counsel, and his counsel couldn't help him. Right. His counsel couldn't determine what. I don't know what this dream is about. All right. So what? Read on.
Verse 9. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me in ward in the captain of the guard's house,
Mm-hmm.
both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream.
Mhm.
And there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard. And we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams.
Right.
To each man according to his dream, he did interpret.
Right.
And it came to pass, as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me, he restored unto he no, I'm Slakia. Me he restored unto mine office, and him he
Hanged.
hanged.
Hmm.
Verse 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and shaved himself and changed his raiment,
Hmm.
and came in unto Pharaoh.
Right. So he had to clean up because he's in the prison. So he in there, he not getting no haircuts and nothing like that. He in that prison looking crazy. So he can't go into the courts of the king that way. So they groomed him up and brought him into the courts. Shayla. Right, because he remembered that he was supposed to speak to Pharaoh on Joseph's behalf. He promised Joseph that he was going to speak to Pharaoh. Then when he got out, he forgot about Joseph. Man, I'm out. I ain't worrying about Joseph. So then he remembered, damn, you know what? I was supposed to. So when he saw the situation go down, he remembered Joseph. Right, that's what he was supposed to do. So his fault was he didn't keep his word. All right, he didn't keep his word. All right, let's read on.
Verse 15.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream to interpret it.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. The Most High shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river.
Right. So you notice what Joseph said. He said it's not me. Oftentimes when the Most High use you in a blessed way, it's not you. You can't take the props. Right. You can't say, yeah, it was me. I interpreted that dream. I did that. I set that up. Right. Must we give them water too? Right. Must I give them water? The Most High, what he judged Moses quickly on that matter. Right. And we always have to we have to learn from that. Right. That if the Most High use you, it is not you. Everybody understand that? The Most High is using you. You're a vessel. That the Most High could use any one of us, right, to do a particular a task that's needed to be done, right, in the sight of the Most High. Don't take it upon yourself to say, "Well, I'm so great," right? Just be thankful that the Most High using you, right, and pray that He use you for what, for as a vessel of honor, and not a vessel of what dishonor, because he got both vessels out here, right? He can use you for righteousness, and he can use you in a matter of wickedness. All right. Um, right. Right. Even Yahushua didn't want to hold that title and acknowledge his own power, but his power is Yahweh. Right. All right. So let's read on. Let's check it out.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat fleshed and well favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kind came up after them, poor and very ill favored and lean fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness.
Mm-hmm.
And the lean and the ill-favored kind did eat up the first 7 fat kind. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them.
Right. So even though they devoured the fat kind, they still was lean. So the lean ate the fat and still was lean, right? In his dream. All right, read on.
But they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke, and I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after, and the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of the Pharaoh is one. The Most High have showed Pharaoh what he is about to do.
Right. That show you that these magicians, magic is something of the other nations. Everybody understand that? We don't deal with magic as Hebrew Israelites, right? Magic is something that they call upon uh, Satan ultimately, but different entities, different gods, different powers, familiar spirits, right? That's where this magic spirit comes from. All right. The Most High, when the Most High deals with blessings and power, right? That's what we deal with. We do the power of Yahweh, the spirit of the Most High. That's what we deal with. We don't deal with magic. All right. Magic, what they show Disney World and Harry Potter and all that foolishness. That's not of our people. Everybody understand that? All right. Those are abominations to the Most High, really. Right. Talking about, I'm doing magic tricks. We don't do magic tricks. Right. Those are illusions and delusions. Right. That's not of Yahweh to cause someone to be fooled. Okay. So understanding the Most High is not dealing with magic. Matter of fact, what's that? Wizards. Um, yeah, Leviticus. Yeah, give me that. 1931. Regard not. That's regard not, right? Yeah, Leviticus 1931.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 31.
Uh-huh.
Regard not them that have familiar spirits.
Come on.
Neither seek after wizards.
Near silver what?
Seek after wizards.
Right. That's what they call them when they deal in magic, right? Wizards and witches, and they got a wand in their hand. That's. It said, don't regard these things. Don't seek after them. Don't deal with them. Read on.
To be defiled by them.
Because they will defile you. What does it mean to be defiled? What does that mean to be defiled? Right? Degraded or ruined. Right? When something is defiled, it's ruined. It's degraded. So when you go to these wizards or warlocks or you enchantments and all these things that they're dealing with, that's all a defiled a spirit. Right? They try to pass it off like it's all fun and games. But then when you jacked up, it ain't fun and games anymore. All right? Right? When Most High bring that judgment. 20 and 6. That's where it says wizards and warlocks, right? Yeah. Give me that too.
Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 6. And the soul that turneth after such have familiar spirits, and after wizards to go a whoring after them.
Right.
I will even set my face against that soul.
Right.
And will cut him off from amongst his people.
Right. So what is judgment in that? So we don't want to deal with any kind of obia, any kind of what's the other words you have for it? Voodoo, Santeria, right? You don't want to even. I don't even like to even walk past them botanicas, man. You see them botanicas in the neighborhood in the strip mall? It just look demonic, man. All them little statues in the window. I'm like, what's going on in there? There's one behind us, right? Yeah. That's why be so much demons out there. Right? Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I like that spirit. Right? He said witches and warlocks, they can tell you everything but the lotto number. They can never tell you the lotto number. They would have some use if they could tell you that. Right? They tell you all kind of foolishness, things that can't add anything to you. All right, brother in the back. Who's that? That's right. And what you saying, you Romeo? Right. So there is a lot of verses dealing with witches and warlocks, as you can hear. All right. So you can write them down. Say your verse again. So Isaiah 8 and 19. Deuteronomy 18, verse 10 and 11, right? And what's the name? Chiram, what verse you had? Exodus 8, 17 to 19. So that's why we had to have pen and paper here. Write them down, write them down. Right? Because I can't go to every verse that they're gonna pull out because we won't get anywhere, right? So we gotta continue. But you understand that the Most High is not dealing with that. So let's go back to the Genesis, right? Mm-hmm.
Genesis chapter 41 and verse 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one.
Right?
The Most High have showed Pharaoh what he is about to do.
Come on.
The 7 good kine are 7 years,
Mm-hmm.
and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7th thin and ill-favored kind that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What the Most High is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, there come 7 years of plenty, great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt. And the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following. For it shall be very grievous.
Right, very grievous. So they're gonna be those 7 years of famine is gonna be so terrible, you're gonna forget that when you ever had plenty. Right? That's how much people are gonna be starving. All right. So the Most High, like Joseph told him, the Most High is showing Pharaoh what's going to happen. Right? So he's giving all power to Yahweh. He's not taking none to himself. He said the Most High is sending this message to you, right? Putting it in your mind to do something, right? To prepare you. When the Most High give you a message, it's to prepare you, right? It's not just for folly, right? When the Most High use power, the power is never used for folly. It's used for a reason, right? If he gives spiritual power to heal, right, then he's going to bring the sick to be healed, right? He's not going to just give you the power just for you like these shows that they be watching on Netflix with these people that got all kind of power to do folly, right? Right? That's not of the Most High, right? Not going to just give you power for nothing for you to do your own will with it. All right, read.
Verse 32. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It is because the thing is established by the Most High,
Mm-hmm.
and the Most High will shortly bring it to pass.
Right.
Now, therefore, let the Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. Let the Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years.
Right.
And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh.
So what does it mean to take up the 5th part? What is that talking about? What's that? What's the 5th part? Shayla? A form of tax, but how much? No. 20%. The 5th part is 20%. If you cut 105 parts, what you got? 5 what? 5 20s, right? So he took the 5th part. That's 20%, right? So that's a heavy tax. But he put that heavy tax on them. Why? Because he knew what was coming. All right. So he was collecting this so that they have enough for those 7 ill-favored years. All right. Everybody understand that? All right.
Verse 35. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is? A man in whom the Spirit of God is. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according to thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
Wow, that sounds familiar. So now Pharaoh realized that the Most High is with Joseph, right? So I'm gonna put you over everything. Everything is you're gonna rule everything. I'm just gonna own everything, right? That's what Pharaoh said, right? That sounds like most of the Fortune 500 companies, right? Right? Who's the CEOs of a lot of these companies? You are, Jake, black, so-called blacks and Hispanics, running the whole company, but they don't own it, right? That ain't gonna that part they're not gonna let you happen, right? Right? They can call themselves a partner and all these type of things, right? But you ain't gonna own it outright. That you can do whatever you want to do with it, right? Yeah, CEO goes down with the ship, right? You get blamed for everything. The chief was that executive officer, right? He gets blamed for everything, but then what? He don't own nothing. He don't own it. And that's the part that our people they so happy to be the CEO, right? They proud I'm the CEO, right? But where's your company at? Right? Right. I'd rather be an owner of a small company than a CEO of a big company, right? Because then when the time comes, right, I own something. Everybody understand that? Right? But these nations understand that, and they understand that to this day. That's why they use us the way they use us, because they know the Most High is with us. Even in our ignorance, the Most High is we the salt of this earth, right? The Most High blesses us with certain abilities, even in our ignorance. And so the other nations, they were aware of that. That's why you think that they took you into your aside from our um, punishment from the Most High that put us into the captivity of these nations, right? The nations realized something about us while we're in this captivity. They said, "Man, these people are what? An industrious people. We can use these people. We can get more benefit from these people if we allow them to believe that what uh, we're partners or we're somewhat equal, right?" So he puts that out there in the minds of our people. So we labor hard to build their kingdom, right? And we have propelled their kingdom forward in many different ways, right? But he will not give us any ownership, right? You can't own a street in this kingdom. Everybody understand that? You can't own a corner in this kingdom. Even if you have your house and you pay your mortgage, let's say you don't have a mortgage. Let's say you bought it outright. Do you own that? Because you don't own the city, right? So your house got to be in a city, huh? Right? Your house ain't floating in the sky. It's connected to the land. You don't own the land. You own your house, right? Right? You ain't never ever gonna own it, right? They collect taxes, yes, right? But even if you pay your taxes every year, you still don't own it, right? Because you don't own the city, all right? You don't own the border, right? You cannot defend it. You can only claim ownership of things that you can defend, right? You can say, listen, you can't take this from me, right? If you cannot stop someone from taking it from you, how do you own it? These are concepts that we have to understand. This is why above the dollar bill is the what? Is the military, right? Above every law is the enforcement of the law, right? The reason why he owned everything is because he's the only one allowed to defend it. Everybody understand that? Right? If you do wrong and he take your life, he has right to take your life. You never have right to take his. All right. So these are concepts we have to understand because a lot of our people walk around in this kingdom acting like they free and that we're not in captivity anymore because they don't see the bars. Right? You got to use wisdom to see the bars now. Right? The bars are not easily seen. Right? That's right. Scripture surely oppression make a wise man mad. You don't realize you oppressed in his kingdom because we think we can do everything that we aspire to do. But your aspirations are already oppressed. You're not even aspiring to do the things that you can't, right? I had two hands up. Shayla, you good? I'm on one. What was your precept? Let's get that. Ezekiel 28, verse 3 and 4. Oh, he was smart. Abraham Lincoln was smart. He freed a slave so he could own you a different way, right? That's why he freed you. He didn't want to own you this way. This way too expensive. Paying for your meals, giving you a place to live. Yeah, you pay for your own meals, but you still got to come back and work for me. And when I give you money. Guess what you're gonna do with that money? You gotta give back to me to get the things that you need. All right. That's why scripture say we shall go to our enemy in one of all things. That's still prevalent to this day. Right. Anything you want, we got to get it from our enemy. There's no way around that. Only way around that is we establish our own place. And they ain't gonna let that happen because you're gonna need to be able to defend it. Money can't defend it. All right. That's why the kingdom got to be established with what? With bloodshed. Right? There can't be no kingdom on this. They're not gonna give their rulership because okay, yeah, the Most High is with you. All right, here we're gonna give up everything. No, they're gonna go out with a fight. Right? That's why you read about the visitation of the Most High is what? Is bloodshed, is slain. Many shall be slain. Why? Because that's the only way uh, rulership can be passed over hands. There's only one way rulership is passed by hands. There's not a kingdom on this earth that was bought. Right? They teach you about the Louisiana Purchase when you go to school, right? What is the Louisiana Purchase? What is that about? Somebody give me. I want somebody that's a young person that go to school, right? That may went to high school, just out of high school. What is the Louisiana Purchase about? What did they teach you? You remember? Quarry, you went to school. What did they teach you about the Louisiana Purchase? All right, were paying attention that day in class. All right. All right, who remembers the Louisiana Purchase? All right. You still remember? Wow. All right. You've been out of school for a while. All right. All right. Tell me, what is it you purchase about? From Louisiana to Canada, they purchased the land. From who? From who? From who? Nope. I thought you remember the Louisiana Purchase. You don't remember that thing. Huh? Huh? From Napoleon? All right, from Napoleon. I didn't know he was a Frenchman. So, man, you got it then. Right? Right? All right. I'll give your props back and give it back to you. All right. Right. So, little brother, from where? It's right from Napoleon. Yeah, we established that. Right. Right. You cannot purchase. So now, let's say the French say, right, I'm not going to sell it to you. Right. So they want to own from Louisiana to Canada. Right. Was that going to happen? Why did they make this purchase? Right. What was happening? Who knows the American history? We have to break that down now. All right. Wars were happening. Wars were happening. Right. They were fighting wars. These purchases were to prevent, to stop the wars that were going on. All right. There were many wars in this land. This land was established with bloodshed, with wars. They talk about these purchases. These purchases only was there to what? To stave off the wars that they were fighting amongst themselves. Esau is white against white crime, nothing to do with us much, right? But they were fighting against each other because they understand you cannot get property without bloodshed. You can't really own it, right? Without defending it. That's the only way it works, right? So because the wars continue, they made these purchases and things to stop the wars. It was just a way of, stopping the war and deciding who's going to be, the owner, right? So that person now can hold what? Defense against that property, all right? Defense against the property. All right. So once we understand that concept, when we go to the Bible, we understand the Most High gave us our land. We had to what? Destroy the people in the land in order to get the land, right? Right. 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 Because they already warred against them and destroyed them, took them out the land. Well, they were in the land, but took their ownership away. Right. The North America, the so-called Native Americans, as they call them, but they're the tribe of Gad, Reuben. Right. They're Israelites. All right. Um, they were take their ownership of this land was taken away through bloodshed, not through money. All right, not through money, but through bloodshed and through war. Okay, because that's how land moves property. So they will let us rule everything, control everything, but they will not let us own it. All right, that's the condition that we're in. So there is oppression to our people, even to our millionaires, billionaire. What Jay-Z said, he's a billionaire, right? And he can't buy a street or a block, right? And he got $1 billion. He say he got. I don't know what he got. That's what he say. All right. So show you that there's no amount of money that can lift these curses. Everybody understand that? Let's read them. They couldn't even keep him out of jail. Let's pick it up where you at.
Genesis chapter 41 and verse 41.
Mm-hmm.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen.
Right.
And put a gold chain about his neck.
Come on.
And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had.
Right. So gave him all this props, made him blinged out, gave him all these props, put him up on high above all the people. That's what they do to us to this day. Right. You thinking that we somebody now, right? We made it. Read on.
And they cried before him, bow the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt.
The people cried before him, right? He's a great ruler, right? Right? It sounded like he was like the first Barack Obama, the way the people was acting. All right, read on.
Verse 43. And he made him to ride in the second chariot,
right,
which he had. And they cried before him, bow the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt.
Come on.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt.
Come on.
And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphath Painit, Pani. And he gave him to wife Asnath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. Mm-hmm. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt.
Right.
And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
So man, he's 30 years old. He running the place, young CEO of Egypt. Got a brand new wife, daughter of a priest. So you know she in order, right? So he's all right, man. He's doing well in Egypt right now. He's shining. Got the gold ring, the chain, the second chariot, right? Read on.
And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. And in 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls. Verse 48. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, and the food of the field, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same.
Right.
And Joseph gathered corn, as he said, as the sand of the sea, very much, until he left numbering, for it was without number.
Right. So he gathered so much he couldn't even weigh it anymore. He couldn't keep track of it. So he said, just keep gathering. Just keep gathering. Read on.
And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asnath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On, bare unto him. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for the Most High said, he hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house.
Right.
And the name of the second no, and the name of the second called he Ephraim.
Mhm.
For God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction.
Right.
And the 7 years of plenteous that was in the land of Egypt were ended, and the 7 years of Darth began to come, according to Joseph he had said. And the
The
Darth
Dareth.
Darth was the all lands.
The
Dearth,
Dearth. Yeah. Sorry,
the
Dearth.
water, the water. And the dearth was in all the lands, but in all the land of Egypt was
Bread.
bread.
Hmm.
And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, go unto Joseph, what he have said to you do.
Right. He said, man, I don't know. Go to Joseph. Joseph knows how to run this. Right. So he owned Egypt. He's the Pharaoh. He's the top man. He don't even know what's going on. He said, man, go talk to Joseph, man. All right. I don't know. He has a plan. Right. Right. Joseph is running the whole Egypt. Right. Pharaoh don't even know what's going on. Right. Shiloh. Egyptian. Yeah. Egyptian priest. Absolutely. Absolutely. All the nations did. Right. Right. All the nations had priests. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. All the nations knew about the Most High. Right. Remember, these nations are formed from those three sons. Right. Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Whose father is what? Noah. Who Noah knoweth the Most High. So he taught his sons, right? And his sons established in different kingdoms, different nations what came out of his sons. They knew of the Heavenly Father. They went astray because it wasn't in their spirit to stay righteous. Not that they didn't know what righteousness was. They all knew what righteousness was, right? They understood adultery. They understood all these things. With all the wickedness that was going on in Egypt, it wasn't because they didn't know right from wrong. And some people might have that different that concept. They knew when it was dealing with homosexuality that it was wrong, right? They dealt with it anyway, right? And they didn't fear the Most High. That's what they lacked. They didn't fear the Most High, right? So when you don't fear the Most High, I guess the sky's the limit, they say, right? Anything goes, right? However you feel to do whatever you feel like doing, you do. And you know it's wrong, but you're like, you know, I know it's wrong, but yeah, free spirit. I'm a free spirit, right? I do what I feel like doing, right? So even Esau, all the nations, they knew right from wrong. The white man knows these laws just as well as we. He probably know the Bible better than us, right? He printed the Bible that we read it, right? He made the concordance and the context books of this Bible. He know what's in there, but he not following it because he don't fear the Most High. The fear is what you have from birth. The fear is what the Most High put in the children of Israel. That's not in the other nations. Everybody understand that? That's what's in your spirit. We fear the Most High. We're going to read and we're going to do what it say. He going to read and go, that's interesting, right? And he's going to continue doing whatever he wanted to do in it anyway. All right, read on.
Verse 56. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt.
So what? He didn't give it away. He sold it, right? Because the people have money. They just didn't have bread. They didn't have food, right? So he was in a position to say, "Let me have them buy it from me, right? Give them a discount, but they're gonna have to buy it." You're gonna see later on why that was wisdom. Read on.
Verse 57. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn.
To buy all the countries is buying corn from Egypt now. So you can see how much corn he's selling now. He got the corner of the market now, right? Everybody's coming to Joseph. I got that corn. Egypt got that corn, right? You in the other nation, you starving, man. Then what we gonna do? Hey, well, Egypt got that corn. All right, let's go. Let's go check it out. Right? They bring in all kind of currency, right? But you know, world currency is what? Gold. Right? Gold and silver is world currency. It's still that way to this very day. Gold and silver is world currency. Right? That paper money, some people might accept it, some people may not accept it. Don't give me that paper money. I don't want that. Gold and silver is world currency. Right? You can always go to any country and go to their mint or their those that deal with the metals and sell your gold and silver and get the currency of that nation, right? And the weight of that gold from that nation's money, whatever it might be, however it breaks down. All right, let's read.
Verse 57. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all the lands.
Right.
Chapter 42.
Come
Now
on.
when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do ye look upon one? Why do ye look one upon another? And he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither.
Right. So what? That word got all the way back to Jacob. So I heard there's corn in Egypt. Y'all need to get down there and go get us some food. All right. Read on.
And buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die.
Right.
And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt.
So now, where are they now? They're in the land of Canaan. Give me a different map, design. Con. Oh, the whole there's no corn in Israel, right? Nobody was trying to believe that nonsense anyway. If you believe that, something wrong with you. All right. Once you get a kind of idea of where they at, where they're going. All right. So they're in the land of Canaan. All right. So right where the cursor is at is where the land of Canaan is, right? Where they call it Gaza, what they call Beersheba, all right, Hebron, Arad, in that zone there, right? They got to travel south. That's what it says. Go down to Egypt along the water, along the waterways. That's the way they go to travel and come down into Egypt. Egypt being right here, where it says map 2, Exodus from Egypt. Egypt is this way, right? Right. See where Atlantic Ocean is? Got past Atlantic Ocean and you're in Egypt. So that's the traveling they needed to do to come down and get this corn. All right. How far is that? Let's see. Does it give us? It's about. I'm looking at the key that says the distance. Okay, right. The scale. All right. So 0 to 100 is 100 miles. All right. So yeah. Okay. So about 300 miles. Correct. For of a travel of a distance. So that's like from here to Orlando, right? A little bit past Orlando. Okay. Canaan to Egypt. That's what we're talking about. Oh, how many days travel? Oh, that's another good question. Well, they're not walking, man. They're taking camel. They on camels. You know, they ain't walking. Camels are not fast, but they faster than our 2 feet. They 4 feet faster than our 2 feet. Trust me. Don't sleep on that camel. He might just be strolling, but his stroll is faster than our stride, right? 50 miles in one day. Okay, that's a good. We could use that as a, you know, right? So about it's probably a 7th day travel, like Sabbath days of journey, as the Bible calls it. Right. We could call it a Sabbath days journey though. We could call it 7 days. Yeah, that they took did camp in mountains, ranges, and stop places, and so it's probably a 7 days journey, 7 days journey. Right. Wow, camel can run 25 miles an hour, right? So as for that slow camel, that ain't too slow, right? But they probably, they don't run them that much. They walk them, you know what I mean? Because they're carrying burdens, right? But they can run 25 miles an hour, so that's pretty fast, right? Yeah, like pretty fast. All right, don't sleep on a camel, boy. All right, run camel back, be out. All right, all right. So we got an idea of the travel that he's sending his sons to travel all the way to Egypt to get this corn. All right, that's like you having to go to Orlando to go get some corn from Fort Lauderdale. All right, let's read.
Verse 3. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob, sent not with his brethren, for he said, Least peradventure mischief befall him.
Mm-hmm.
And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came.
Right, so he didn't send Benjamin. Why? He was young and he was afraid that something would happen to him. Because right now, Jacob is under the impression that Joseph is what? Dead. And the only two sons that he had from Rebecca is Joseph and Benjamin. From Rachel is Joseph and Benjamin. Okay. So this is why he was not willing to let Benjamin go also, because he only has one son from Rachel at this point. Is what he believes, because he thinks Joseph is dead. Right? Read.
And the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. And Joseph was the governor over the land, and it was that sold to all the people of the land.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him,
Right?
with their faces to the earth.
Right. So now, what is that? Is that prophecy coming to pass? Because that was a dream that Joseph had, saying that what? His brethren all would bow before him. And they was mad with him for that dream. They threw him in a pit, sold him into slavery for that dream, and watch how the dream come to pass. Right? So that's something we can learn, right? Just when you think you can do nothing against the truth. We went over that earlier, right? You can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Most High wants His will be done. Whether if you like it, you accept it or not. The Most High will be done in your lives. So we better that we accept it than to be fighting against it when it's going to come to pass anyway. Everybody understand that? Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 42 and verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but he made himself strange unto them,
Right,
and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan to buy food.
Mm-hmm.
And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. And Joseph remembered the dreams. He remembered the dreams. Slakia, verse 9. And Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
Right. So Joseph recognized them. They didn't recognize Why they didn't recognize Joseph? All his Egyptian apparel, headdress, right? He shaved up, probably got the Egyptian headdress on, all that kind of stuff in their apparel. Also, that proves what? That what? The Hebrews and the Egyptians are what? They look the same. The same complexions, the same of Negroid appearance. Both of them, right? So that proves to you when you go to ancient Egypt and you see what the Egyptians look like, that the ancient Israelites got to look the same way. Everybody understand that? So the ancient Israelites could not be the so-called white man. There's no way possible, because how that white man gonna pass for an Egyptian? He's sitting up there, looking like Brad Pitt, right? And everybody else looking like Wesley Snipes. There's no similarity here, right? You obviously stand out. Like, okay, you're not Egyptian, right? So we know that that's a big one of the biggest lies on the planet Earth. The white man in Jerusalem, in Tel Aviv, right, in Judea, claiming to be the children of the Most High. That's one of the biggest lies and examples of identity theft on the planet Earth. Okay. And when we hold them accountable for it, they get in their feelings. But we don't care, right? Because you are obviously perpetuating this lie year after year after year. They spend billions of dollars to perpetuate this lie, to hide your true nationality from you, right? All your records is locked up. We have pictures and visuals and portraits of our people, you know, of Joseph and everyone that was royal of in Israel, right? What they call icons, right? Religious pictures, right? Of our time periods and where we dwelt on this earth and what we were doing in those lands. And they cover them all up. And the ones that they don't cover, they just give no explanation on why they look the way they look. The Renaissance period came and it destroyed a lot of our artifacts, right? Right? Renaissance means what? Rebirth, right? That means Esau was what? Coming back into his fullness of his power. So he wanted to destroy all the records of our people, right? But they can't destroy it all. They can't destroy it all right? They're still there. The records are still there. They can hide them, but what? We can find them out. Okay. A lot of our people don't care. That's why, this information is out there. We live in an information generation where you don't have to go to the library. You just pick this thing right here and get someone's information. You don't got to go nowhere. Right? It's right at your fingertips. So ignorance is a choice in this kingdom. Everybody understand that? Right? It's a foolish choice, but it's a choice nonetheless. Right? I had a hand up in the back. Whose hand was up? I think you run me your hand. Uh huh. Even say that again. Even who? Right, right, right. Okay, going further into the story, going forward in the story. All right, huh? What you said? Some I know. Yeah, it's further on in the story. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. All right, let's read on. Oh, another question back in the back. Yeah, right. The noses are broken off. Right, the lips are broken off. Why? Because that's a features that make us look different than the Caucasian man. Our lips, our noses, there's bigger differences between us than our what? Than our complexion, right? When you look at the old statues of the Olmec, right? Of the even in China, right? The old samurai statues out there. You see the curly hair, the wide noses, the big full. They don't look like that. We were all over this earth, and there is artifacts that proves where we were. Okay, the ones they couldn't destroy. Right, they tried their best to destroy them all, but they couldn't destroy them all because everywhere we're artistic people. So when we go to a place, we start making pictures, we start forming things. Right, there's nothing wrong with that to make pictures and portraits. Right, I'm pretty sure. Ask anybody how many pictures they got on their phone, right, in their gallery. You got at least 1,000, right? Because we take pictures, right? We like to capture moments. That's in our spirit to do that. All right, that's not idols. Sometimes people get confused with that. Right, a picture is not an idol until you start to worship it. Okay, till you think that it makes the room sacred. Right, I'm gonna put grandma up on this wall here because she's gonna keep this room safe. How's she gonna do that out of the picture? Right, you going into something else right now. Right, you're going into something else. She's not looking over the room for you. She done moved on and doing her thing with the Most High. Right. right? Let her go, right? So the understanding is, right, artifacts show and prove, and this verses show and prove that the Egyptians and the Hebrew Israelites had a similar look among themselves. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. All right. So the ancient Egyptians, not the new Egyptians, because now they try to make the Egyptians. Did you see that Cleopatra exhibit? They try to make out to be a white woman. I said they have a lot of nerve, man. All right, right. They have a nerve to try to make the Egyptians even come out to be white people. Right, right. Tom Cruise is the last samurai. You got Nefertiti, right? On and on and on. So this is some of the hieroglyphics look like, right? Clearly brown skinned people, right? Braids in their hair, right? Rocking their braids, they cornrows and their braids. How they get this to be the Egyptian woman? How they get this? It's damn Kim Kardashian. Nobody's falling for this nonsense, right? But this is what they try to do. They try to give this ambiguous, you know, history, and never. You could be anything but us, right? Right? They go back in history. You could be any people on this earth but the Negro, right? You only in Africa, and they put you in you Uganda. That's where we from. We from Uganda because it don't even exist, right? That's where you from, Uganda, with Black Panther in them, right? That's the only time they want to try to show us where we from, right? That's an abomination. That's an abomination, right? So let's read on. Let's read on.
The book of Genesis, chapter 42 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
And they said unto him, Nay, my Lord, but to buy food are thy servants come.
Mm-hmm.
We are all one man's sons. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come.
Right.
And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I speak unto you, saying, Ye are spies.
Mm-hmm.
Hereby ye shall be proved. By the life of Pharaoh, ye shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely ye are spies.
Right. So Joseph had to put him through something, because they did Joseph dirty. All right. They threw him in a pit, sold him to the merchants. The merchants ended up selling him to the Egyptians. They did all that to Joseph. So right now, Joseph is putting them through it, right? Saying, I'm going to put you in the prison, bring your brother. But he also trying to what? Assemble the whole family, right, in Egypt. So he had two purposes of what he was doing. He had to put them through there had to be some payback, but also he's trying to assemble the whole family so he can, the whole family be restored onto him. All right, read on.
Verse 17. And he put them all together into ward 3 days. Verse 18. And Joseph said unto them the third day.
Read on.
This do I live, for I fear the Most High. If ye be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye, carry corn for the famine of your houses. Verse 20. But bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die.
Right.
And they did so.
Right.
Verse 21. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, and that we saw the anguish of his soul. when he besought us,
Mhm.
and we would not hear. Therefore, is this distress come upon us? And Reuben answered them, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear. Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them.
Right. So they arguing. What they arguing about?
Joseph.
I told you don't. We sold out Joseph. They talking about Joseph in front of Joseph, right? And Joseph they don't realize Joseph understood them. Why? Because they were speaking what? Hebrew. And Joseph, he still remembered his Hebrew, right? And so he's speaking to them in the Egyptian tongue, but he also knew Hebrew, right? So as they're arguing amongst each other about what they did to him, right? He understood what was going on, right? Right. Well, that they were able to communicate.
No, it says interpreter. It was
It was an interpreter when they first came. Yeah, when they first came. Right. That's right, and that's what we all do when we end up in a problem, right? Well, first thing we ask is, why am I going through this? I did do that wickedness last week. You know what I mean? I did do that. I can't even be mad right now. I did that wickedness. So when you get that, you get that time of reflection. You remember all the wicked things you said and did come back to your mind when you and that punishment come down, right? That's why punishment is so necessary for us as a people. That's why we punish our children so they can reflect, right? Right? If they don't get a chance to reflect, then they don't learn, right? They don't learn from their errors and mistakes. So that punishment is a good thing to come upon us. All right, let's read.
Verse 23. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again and communed with them, and took from them Simeon and bound him before their eyes.
Right. So he turned from them and wept. Why did he weep? He was glad to see his family, man. Right? That's his kin. That's his family. He can't believe it. They right before him. All that he went through. I bet you he was questioning his dream himself. He see it all manifest before his eyes. That's got to be moving in your spirit to see everything manifest before your face. And now you have the opportunity to reunite your family. So yes, he got overwhelmed with emotion. All right. But he turned, he dealt with that emotion, then he came back and continued dealing with them. All right, read.
Verse 25. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provisions for the way. And thus did he unto them. And they laded their donkeys with the corn and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey provender, and in the end he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth.
Right.
And he said unto his brethren, My money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them.
Right.
And they were afraid, saying one to another, What is this that the Most High hath done unto us? And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, The man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. And we said unto him, We are true men, we are no spies. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Leave one of your brethren here with me, and take food for the the famine of your households, and be gone. Verse 34. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are true men. So will I deliver you your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass as they emptied their sacks that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack.
Right. So why were they worried when they saw the bundle of money? Because now you look like you stole this. You went with the money, you came back with the money, and now you have the money and the coin. You looking like a thief right now. All right. So that's evidence that somebody can use against you to say you stole. Read.
And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob their father said unto them, Me have ye bereaved, bereaved,
Bereaved.
bereaved
Mhm.
of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me.
Right.
And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, Slay my two sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again.
Come on.
And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brethren is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in which ye go, then shall ye bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave.
Right. He said, man, if something happened to Benjamin, I'll just die. That's basically what he's saying. I can't take it. I already lost Joseph. If something happened to Benjamin, I ain't gonna be able to handle it. All right. Read on.
Chapter 43. And the famine was sore in the land.
Hold on. Let's stop right there. Chapter 43. All right. So we're gonna pause at chapter 43 for the break. So we have chapter 43 and we have chapter 44 down to verse 17. All right. So we're gonna get those verses right after the break. At this time, we're gonna do announcements. Any announcements that we need to have? I think that we need to let the people know. Um, Minister Marsha. All right. We have announcements such as let's remember the to do all things in decently and in order. So the dress codes here, remember that they're being enforced for our brothers and sisters. Allow your visitors to know that there's no shorts or tank tops with the brethren, right? For the brothers, of course, not for the sisters either, right? But for the brother, no shorts and tank tops, and for the sisters, make sure you have long skirts and your head covered, right? No cleavage, right? Also, we have uh, put in, we have officers here that govern all the rules of this sanctuary. An officer instructs you on something, please show the officer the same amount of respect and honor that you will show any one of the elders. Khan? All right, because he's only echoing the words of his leadership. Um, Last night was a wonderful feast. Hallelujah. Most High hand. We closed out the feast of dedication. We have now been dedicated, right? Once again, right? Every year we're dedicated to doing the will of the Most High. So in that, moving that spirit throughout, this week and the months and the rest of the year to come, being dedicated to this work. Um, Also, along with that dedication, we're looking to enhance, our sanctuary in any way we can. Those of you that may have skills in that kind of work, we'd like you to come forward and let us know so we could work out how we can get this place prepared. Because as the minister was bringing out, we are going to be hosting the 14th Hebrew Summit here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And we're going to have Hebrews coming from all over the world to our part of town. and we want to present ourselves in an orderly fashion and in a dedicated you know um, a spirit that shows our dedication. So we like to spruce up, this place, even though a lot of the events won't be held here per se, because we are renting places because of the number of people we plan on hosting. But we still need to have this place in order and ready for guests. Kind of like when guests is coming over to the house, you put an extra shine on it, okay? So we want to put a little extra shine on it. So those of us that have abilities and skills or just can lend a hand, let us know so we could schedule things and get it done because we don't have a long way to go. I believe it's about 6 weeks before the summit. It's coming. All right. So if there's things that's still up in the air that need to be established, we need to establish them now so that we can move forward and in the work. Planning time is at an end. All right. Now it's working time. Hallelujah. So let's get that work done. All right. What else do we have on the block? Uh, we just did a new moon, so we have a while before the new moon is. So right. So at this time, I say enjoy your break, and let's be back in our seats by 4 o'clock so we can finish this portion. Hallelujah. All praises. Oh yeah, I